Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Weekly Brief. This is where we do analysis on natural gas, UNG US dollar, oil, gold, and silver. We'll be looking at the support and resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario where I think price would be likely heading into there next week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video, and I did that yesterday, we looked over the Qs and Meta, Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA. So check that out if you guys are looking for those. And let's get started on natural gas. So natural gas pretty much bottomed out here last weekend on this gap down. So we're quite oversold here, and pretty much this gap down marked the bottom because of this double bottom that was likely potentially holding. So either that held or it was just kept going. And we don't know where the bottom is, but for us to know that this is the bottom is that after it formed a 4-hour uptrend to confirm that bottom. For me, I did took a small position off here just on that gap down for a gap down play and a quick flip, but after I sold it close to here, but then after this 4-hour uptrend confirm, this is where you would want to play more on the upside by following the trend. So currently we are bouncing off of the 12-hour EMA 12. So we can go to the exponential moving average 12 and you'll get this same teal looking line as me. And you can see it, every time we hit it currently, it's bouncing off of support as well. So right now, it's going to likely continue to trend upwards until it breaks this 12 EMA. So let's say, come down here again and then bounce off of here again. Likely potentially continue. Or maybe we could form some kind of a sideways consolidation before it decides to move upwards. But for now, as long as just a simple statement, right? As long as this EMA 12 4-hour is bouncing off of support, bulls are in full control. Just keeping things simple. But if bears are able to form maybe some kind of head and shoulders here, bounce off of the 4-hour EMA 12, and then it couldn't make any higher, and it breaks through that while also confirming a 4-hour downtrend. This is what a head and shoulder is. An uptrend into a downtrend, breaking that neckline, then this may likely mark the temporary top for this bounce if that happens. So keep an eye on watch that. I know it's currently tracking the December contracts, so it's priced a little bit different, but it's pretty similar still at the moment. So we're looking at this kind of this rising wedge pattern as well. This rising wedge more for visual guides. We don't trade off of it. So let's see if bulls can continue to follow that trend, or the bears are going to show up and maybe potentially give us that head and shoulders and potentially head lower. For now, if we continue to go up, right, there's a very key resistance right here, 2.592. You can see this rejection here, a lot of resistance right here. If your chart looks a little bit different, make sure to click this BADJ, adjusted for contract gaps, right? So you won't get all these contract gaps and your chart will look like mine. So pretty much we're right at sitting right at resistance. It makes sense too, right? This Thursday's high also marked that resistance. So this can be an area where bears want to make a stand here. So which they did on Thursday. And currently we haven't really back tested yet. So yeah, quite possible we might form some kind of if this bearish pattern does form up, then we'll see it coming. But if the 4-hour EMA 12 continues to bounce off of it, then bulls are in full control as long as the trend is intact on an uptrend. So what an uptrend is, it's just a higher high and a higher low. So this is a higher low, meaning this low is higher than the prior low. And we make a new high, meaning this higher high, this high is higher than the prior high. So that's an uptrend. And this is a very clear downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And this is the first time it reversed. So we'll just keep following the trend for now and go from there. All right, let's take a quick look at UNG. UNG is going to do pretty much similar things to NatGas. As long as NatGas goes up, UNG is going to go up. Sometimes they move a little differently because they track different months, but you just have to be wary of that. Similar idea, right? 4-hour EMA is bouncing off of it, and it's continuing. Looks like it's tracking the. Haven't looked, but it looks like this December's price action. So we did make a higher high. I think December one made a higher high, so that's a good sign. As long as it continued to bounce off the 4-hour EMA 12, bulls are in control. So no signs of huge red flags as of yet. And for NatGas, don't fight the trend. Right? It's just a trending name in both ways. Right? When it's trending bearish, it goes very, very, very deep, low. And when it trends bullish, right, it can shoot up 20-30% sometimes, as we have seen multiple times in these past price actions. So just follow the trend and trade with the trend. Sounds easy, but a lot of us, like catching bottoms and tops. So, but it's tough to catch those areas. And if you guys want to learn more about technical analysis and how to better time your exits and entries or psychology of this trading or more TA, go to the Patreon link on my YouTube and check that out. Or just book that free 15-minute call and let's get on a call and talk more about what you want to learn. All right, let's take a US dollar. So US dollar is potentially likely, I would say, topping out here. If this thing goes any higher, we're probably not going to get any. It's pricing out a lot of rate cuts, let's just say. So right now, bearish did a little bit of a stand here, right? You can see they haven't made a new high. So this is the big drop, not a big drop, but big enough move where they have room on the bounce where they may potentially shape up that downtrend. So let's see if the bears can break this Friday's low. If they can do that, then that's the first, pretty much just a tiny first indication that there may be some kind of a slowdown on the dollar because it's a 5-minute chart. So that's just like the absolute bare minimum that I want to see. At least give me a 5-minute downtrend so we can start to zoom back out to the hourly, and potentially look for that bigger move on the bigger term time frame. But for now, bulls, you can just say bulls are absolute full control. It might shape up some kind of an equilibrium as well, some kind of tightening range, because big move down, big move up, they may be shaping up a tightening range in the long run. But we got to see some kind of pullback first before we can even say that, right? This could still come back up to 104 and it could still be a tightening range. Or this could be a bull flag, right? It can pull back very slow. But the key thing for me is that we have a lot of jobs numbers next week. Data. Check out the previous video. I went through those datas, economic data where we have job numbers on the stock market video. So those data will 100% move the dollar because, because right now market is a lot more sensitive to jobs data as compared to those inflation data anymore. So let's see how those numbers come in. Right, if the numbers come in bad, I would say we would increase the probability of rate cuts, which will likely move the dollar down. And if those data is coming good, the dollar will likely stay bullish. So let's see how it comes in. All right, let's look at oil. Oil here is tightening up, just in sideways range. Nothing special, nothing too crazy. Just been trading sideways for months. We did get some, what is it called? News on the overall right before market close, where there may be some attacks around the world, right? Geopolitical tension news, which did spike the dollar, the oil, just a tiny bit right before market closed. You can see this little spike after hours. That news, I think, dropped right before after hours closed. So we'll see, if it escalates more or de-escalates. Obviously, it's going to move the oil, right? Escalates more, oil goes up, de-escalates, maybe goes sideways again. So, but it is in a small hourly uptrend. So let's see if it continues to be that. Otherwise, we're just under resistance, right here. But if that geopolitical tension escalates, this resistance will just mean nothing, right? It could just blow through it. So keep an eye and watch what's going on overall in the world if you're playing oil. It's very sensitive to those geopolitical tensions. And let's take a look at gold. So gold, no red flags for me either. It's just a big stance from the bears. Those one moves where they do those big drops in one move, and then they don't confirm the trend. So bigger picture. Let me go to the 4-hour here. I should just go to the 1 hour. So pretty much actually pretty much see that big drop. This was bearish chance after this big drop, right? If you see this come in, right, and on this bounce, there will be new bears to position themselves for that higher low, sorry, lower high, potentially to get that bigger move on the downtrend to confirm. But this was the bearish chance over here on this drop to confirm that far downtrend, but they didn't do it. So that's telling me that there's not a lot of bears in gold at this moment still, because this was head and shoulders, pretty much textbook perfect. They didn't break the neckline, so that means they did not come from a 4-hour downtrend. They had to break this this initial low for that to be a 4-hour downtrend. So that didn't happen. You can see that once that didn't happen, bulls just come back and shows it back up. And yeah, now our resistance is pretty much just this little structure right here, this tiny structure here, this 2748, and then it's all-time highs again. So still no bears for me on the charts for gold at this given moment. Yeah, and don't show this all-time high, right? Nobody knew this was the all-time high. I mean, maybe some of you did, but it's tough to nail tops, right? You could have positioned yourself here for the lower high, for the 4-hour potential lower high, and making that lower low. But if you're wrong, it's okay. It bounces back. You see the red flags, and you just stop out or take a little bit of profit. You'll be fine. So you should wait for these initial moves to come first, and then scout that lower high just to be less risky, right? And you have more room to maneuver, and you have a clear stop level to play off of. Versus when this thing is just kind of going up, like where are you going to place your stop when you short, right? You don't even know where the top is. Yeah, and silver, so that's platinum. Silver is also doing okay because of gold, right? If gold's going to go back to all-time highs, silver is not going to drop that much. So similar idea. Why is it doing that? I'm just going to go to this chart. XAUUSD. That's the wrong one. All right. So silver kind of just flagging a little bit, right? It's not a picture perfect bull flag or anything, but it's the idea of that, slow, shallow retracement. But it's still relatively weaker than gold, right? Because gold already is approaching all-time highs, and this is still on this bounce. Gold is trading close up here already, while silver hasn't broken out of its flag. Unless gold goes to all-time highs, silver is probably going to continue to just kind of grind, right? So gold's kind of due for a little bit of a pullback, right? Let's say gold just kind of chills out a little bit, comes back, even to here, right? Silver is going to probably come back down to test that low of the flag, just from gold's little bit of that consolidation, right? And then gold decides to come back up and heads to all-time highs. And then we have silver kind of just coming back up here again. Right? That's the relative weakness at this moment. Obviously, silver can get rotation, and you can see these 6% moves, right? Maybe it kind of does that grind down thing. And then next thing you know, once it break bull out of this flag, it gets that rotation again, and make that big move. Right? We don't know that until it happens. You can position yourself for that move, rotation, but rotation is hard to predict. So just play the name that is at all-time highs, which is gold. A lot easier to catch that trend, catch the meat in between the moves with gold, versus trying to predict what silver is going to do. Is going to get that relative strength back or not. It's very hard to play off of that. Give it a few tries, but make sure you have a clear stop level. But yeah, we are coming back to. It looks good that it's this prior 32.8 level is pretty much the low of this around this level. So acting as support, that is a good sign. So let's see if it can catch us up. Maybe break out that flag and see if it gets that rotation. All right, that's got it for you guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You guys made it this far or learn anything, and I will give you guys more updates next week. And feel free to check out the channel, support the channel, or check out the Patreon links to learn more about technical analysis. And have a great rest of your guys' weekend. If there's anything in midweek, I will update you guys. And take care.